Well, next this evening, Muslim women gathered in Bradford today to tackle the discrimination which they say they encounter every single day.
Yes, the event, organised by the women's group Shantona, was to launch a film, Islamophobia, the Untold Stories, which women from West Yorkshire speak out for the first time about their experiences. They also heard from speakers including myself from the media, the police and council leaders. Well,
the organisation's also campaigning to have Islamophobic crimes recorded independently from hate crime to highlight how rife the problem really is.
We'll be hearing from some of those involved in the project in just a moment, but first let's take a quick look at the film.
Suddenly he just came to me, he started swearing at me and he called me a terrorist and told me to go back home. I don't belong here, and that's how I felt that day.
It just makes me feel targeted because I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm the same as the other person. We're both doing our job. I'd wish that other people would take action because people just ignore it as well, like how I do. So I feel like if other people took action, then I would feel more confident in speaking up.
Well, joining us now in the studio is Saima Javid, who features in the film, Nahid Rasool from the Shantona Women's and Family Centre behind the film, and also with us is Shahid Mahmood from Leeds City Council. Thanks very much for coming in. Saima, first of all, your story features, you talk about how you were pushed in the street, just walking along, you were heavily pregnant at the time, just pushed out of the way, and how that made you feel. Why did you decide to come forward and tell your story?
Well, the project that Shantona put together really appealed to me because it provided a great platform for women to come together and to basically have their voices heard. So I wanted to share my story, but what was great, it was with so many other women. There was a huge response. I wanted to be a part of that process.
Why was it so important for you to make this film? And what impact do you think it'll have?
The reason we did it, a lot of our women, they're coming again and again with the same issues. They're facing barrier because of the Islamophobic attitude towards them, and which has not been reported, and they never told their story to anyone. And that is the reason, that's the beginning point. But when we started doing the film, realized it's so many hundreds of stories coming forward. So therefore, it wasn't intended to produce a book. At the moment, we are writing a book with their stories, which will capture different elements of Islamophobic attitude and behavior, which prevented Muslim women to move forward.
Yeah. Shahid, can I ask you, obviously Leeds City Council are working with the group that made the film with Shantona. What are you doing about it? How are you tackling this issue?
Well, first of all, it's really important that we work with Nahid and the team at Shantona and other groups in the city. Really, really important that we get that grassroots understanding of what's actually happening in the city. That feeds into our hate crime strategic board, which is chaired by our deputy leader at the council. So it's taken at the most senior political levels, and we take hate crime really seriously across the city. This is about looking at Islamophobia in all its different dimensions. It's about people's access to housing and services. It's about people's access to job opportunities and promotion capabilities, wherever they happen to be employed as well. So those are really important things that Muslims in the city are telling us are important to them too.
Simon, can you see a way forward? You know, you've joined in with what's going on today and the film and everything. Do you believe there is hope that things can change and hopefully change as soon as possible?
I think today's event has shown there is hope. So seeing such involvement, the council, representatives from the police, I think seeing all of this in the event today, I definitely do see hope for a future. And I think if this dialogue continues, certainly there's hope.
And Nahid, what will happen to this film? You want to get it out there, don't you?
We are, as Shahid said, that tomorrow it is going to the strategic board, Leeds City Council, say for Leeds strategic board. It's about building resilience and then also raising awareness with the wider community that Muslim women can do everything. They're part of this society. People shouldn't be hearing or they shouldn't be shouting at them, go back to your own home, because this is their home. So that's what we wanted to do.
That's the message to get across. We will put the full film on our ITV Calendar website. But Saima, Nahid and Shahid, thanks very much for joining us today.
Thank you.